how do you get a virtual assistant to stay with you over 5 years? Well, it doesn't have to be exactly 5 years. The point of this video is that I'm going to be sharing some key things that you can do to keep a virtual assistant long term. Because if you have high turnover of VAs, the way you have high turnover of employees, it costs you time and money because you've got to find a new person, you've got to train them, and you lose a lot with a high turnover. So the first thing you need to do is get the foundations correct. So you have to choose someone who, number one, wants an ongoing role, and number two, who wants to actually work for you. And you can do this in the interview stage. Are they really enthusiastic? Have they done research in your company? Just get the feeling that they like you and it's a good fit and that they're really looking for a role and career progression. If you get that, then you're off to a great start. The next thing you can do to make it more likely that your VA stays with you for, say, over 5 years is to give them opportunities to learn and grow. Okay, so in our business, we've had some superstars who have given opportunities in the business and they've just really shone in their new roles. And they've been with us for over 5 years. So we have Jing, who started out doing LinkedIn tasks, mundane tasks, connection requests, etc. And then in a conversation one day, she told me that she really liked numbers and she'd done finance stuff in a previous role. And I'm like, oh, you've been working with us for over a year now. You're really competent, you're highly organized. Let's give you a go in finance. So she started off just, sending a few invoices for me. And now she does the pays and projections and all this stuff. She's just an absolute superstar. So she's been with us over 5 years and has really progressed in her role and developed and is a really valuable member of the team. Another person who's been with us about 6 years is Tim, and she just started out doing things like our newsletter, but has quite an aptitude for IT stuff. So she said to me, I'd love to learn SEO. So she ended up doing a course and study, and now she does a whole lot of SEO work, database design and management work, and a whole lot of IT related stuff. And she's continuing to learn and grow in the role. And the third person is Sheila, who is doing admin in our business. She was looking after our email and making appointments for us and changing appointments, etc. But she was just a superstar, and I really saw something in her, and so I ended up making her head of HR. So she looks after over 100 of our VAs now, and she's just kind and intuitive and organised and a really valuable member of our team. So if you give people opportunities to learn and grow, and especially move into their areas that they're really interested in and want to get better at, then I think it's a good recipe for them staying longer in your business. The next thing you should do if you want your VAs to stay is give them time off. So we give our VAs annual leave, we give them the Australian public holidays and sick leave, and we also give them the option to organise their time. And it's not like a permission system. Can I take leave now, please, please, please? No, just you let us know when you're going to be taking leave, like check in about it. But if you know that your child's in a play in 2 weeks' time at school, then you let us know you're taking the day or half a day and make up the time or take it as an annual day. So that flexibility is important, but also actually giving them the time. We had a VA who'd come to work for us, and they had worked for an American company, and they had not had a day off, I think maybe Christmas Day, in 3 years working for that company, which I think is absolutely disgusting actually. So I think it's really, really important to give your VAs time off. The next thing I would do if you want your VAs to stay is give them a decent wage and increase the wage. So obviously we hire people overseas because it is cost effective in terms of the exchange rates, etc. But you want to give someone a fair wage for their country and also increase it over time so that they feel valued. You can do that in various ways, but quite interestingly, we asked our team, our HR and other members of the team, what would they like? And we've got, structures in place to give pay rises. And when people start, we often give them every quarter so that we're incentivizing them to stay and they've got clarity around when their next pay rise is coming. I know some other companies do it incentivized and pay reviews and all that sort of stuff, but we generally give it across the board unless someone's not performing and it's not working, but then we probably don't want them on our team anyway and they probably don't enjoy the role if they're not performing. So we do it as a more structured pay rise over time. But I do need to say our business development team in South Africa, they are incentivized, they're salespeople, they want it that way. So they have a base wage and then we have a a bonus structure set up based on the number of sales we get. And the final way I want to talk about today to keep your VAs long term is that you communicate well with respect and continually build the relationship. So no one's a robot. It's good to get to know them, have a little bit of small talk. Yeah, it's just a really good exchange of energy. Communicate well with respect. Please don't play the blame game. Often takes two to tango, and if something's not done correctly, often it's to do with your communication of that task. So take a look at yourself around that as well. So really encourage you to build your relationships and to communicate well with your VAs. If I've given you any ideas through this video, really appreciate if you'd give us a like and subscribe. See you in the next video.